Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Finding Freedom. In this episode, we're going to talk about, when you're building your freedom and building your business and life, when you have a website, how do you make sure it's successful? So let's get into it. I like to use Wix. Granted, there's WordPress, Squarespace, and all these other things out there, but I like to use Wix. Why? Well, granted, I'm not sponsored by them. However, one of the things I love about Wix is that everything is literally inside of Wix. You don't have to have all these different plugins that need updates and, have different pricing like WordPress, right? You have a one-time fee and then everything else goes from there. Now, when you're building your website, let's say you already have it built and designed, so on and so forth. That's just the first step. The next thing you have to do is make sure that it's indexed in Google Search Console, right? So there is a feature within settings, so on and so forth, or within the applications feature of Wix, where you can go ahead and make sure that your website is actually indexed within Google Search Console. What does this do? Well, it categorizes your website amongst all the other websites within Google. Think of like a Rolodex of like information of different people. It puts your website in there so that people can find it more efficiently. Now, the other thing you're going to want to do is, make sure that you have analytics set up, because what good is having a website if you don't know who's coming to your website? And what good is it, when you're going to do advertising if you don't know who to advertise to? So making sure that your Google Analytics or your GA4 and your Facebook Pixel and all the social media stuff, as far as data is concerned, is set up so that your ads could run more efficiently, finding the people that actually want to do business with you. Now, the next step from there, what happens when you get a lead from your website or landing page? And I'll get into the difference between the both of those in a second. But what do you do when those leads come in? Well, within Wix, there's something called a workflow within, your automations feature, as well as within your workflows. So a lead will come in, it'll get tagged with a little ID stating that this person needs help with whatever. Let's say you're an attorney, they need help with a malpractice case, or they need help with an adoption, so on and so forth, right? And it gets categorized with these little tags, and that'll come in as a raw lead, right? Well, then what happens when that lead gets contacted? Well, the workflow and the automations after the person gets emailed back and they open up the email will go ahead and move that person over to, let's say, a warm lead or a marketing qualified lead, otherwise known as an MQL. Now, once there's further communication, so on and so forth, within the management feature of, all these little cards within the workflow, let's say you contacted the person, they emailed them back, so on and so forth, they're ready to do business, they just haven't they haven't signed a contract yet. Well, then you can send them that information and move them over through automation known as a sales qualified lead, and this will be your hot lead that's ready to do business with you, so on and so forth. So how do you set these things up? Well, you want to go into Wix, you want to go into automations and give it instructions and triggers, that, when somebody comes in and fills out something on the landing page for information, to do X, Y, and Z, and to add these tags, and it's going to go into this workflow. From there, you're going to have an email automation drip campaign go out to them with either information or something that's attached to what's known as a lead magnet that you can put on your landing page. And I'll get to that in a second. From there, when they respond back to the email or ask for more information or decide to contact you, this will go ahead with the automation, move that person within the workflow so that you have an efficient streamline when it comes to your pipeline and sales. Now, let's talk about the difference between a landing page and a website. A website is great. A website has a lot of information. It can have multiple pages. It's supposed to be not only you, such as the about section, but more in-depth detail about what it is that you do. Now, your landing page is completely different. It's normally a one-pager with a specific goal. I want people to come in, sticking with the law feature, I want people to come in that want help with nothing but malpractice cases, so on and so forth. So the landing page itself will only talk about, what you can do for people looking for help with malpractice. Now, what you want to do is add a caveat. This is known as a lead magnet. What this will do is it'll also encourage people to submit information, delivering the law of reciprocity. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Maybe giving them a infographic or some type of PDF with things that are needed in order to understand how to win a malpractice case successfully, so on and so forth, or details of what goes into a malpractice case. And they could take this PDF completely for free. What you get in return is their information, their email address, their name, their phone number possibly, so on and so forth. This is valuable information for the future when you go to advertise, because you're going to need an email list in order to understand and have the algorithms understand, such as Google, Facebook, TikTok, so on and so forth. When you do your advertising and upload your email list of people that have done business with you or who have inquired about doing business with you, this will give it a warm audience instead of just going out there blindly, hoping to God that you get, people to your site, otherwise known as cold leads or a cold audience, right? It takes a long time to warm them up. Why not work with an email list that you can generate with a lead magnet and a simple landing page, so on and so forth, so that you can get this email list up to about maybe 200, 300 emails, giving a good sample size for the audience to be developed when it comes to advertising. Now, the landing pages on Wix could be dynamic. What does this mean? Well, dynamic pages leaves everything on one page. It just changes out the information from the content management system, otherwise known as the CMS feature within Wix. So when somebody clicks on malpractice, it'll take them to the malpractice page. If they want information on, let's say, adoptions, the information and the design template will stay the same, except the actual content itself will change, meaning the pictures and the words itself, right? Everything else as far as the design is concerned will stay the same, such as, well, the template of the layout, right? So on and so forth. So you have your header, you have your hero, you have your text with a photo, you have maybe your benefits listed underneath, at least 3 of them in a row. Below that, you have maybe some testimonials and reviews from other people that you were successful with, and then maybe a couple call to actions within there so that people could go ahead and take action on the lead magnet. Now, this is not only beneficial, but it also saves space on your Wix site, because as we know, people sell storage space, and so does Wix. Now, a couple other things you can do is, as far as a lead magnet is concerned, is have, let's say, a video, so on and so forth, of you explaining to people what it is that they need. So maybe they give their information and that page now sends them to a video, or better yet, an email that they can open up with a video, so on and so forth, explaining everything. Why? Because not everybody has the time to read PDFs and things like that, but they do have the time to listen to an audio track or listen to video as, they're doing other tasks. Maybe they don't have the time to watch the whole video, but they have time to listen to it. Now, what does this do? Well, here's something special for you guys. You can literally make a YouTube video, take the video itself from YouTube and embed that into the email. Now, every time somebody opens up an email that they requested for, let's say, malpractice, and watch or listen to that video, it also tells the algorithm on your YouTube platform, these are the people that are interested in my content, and i.e., show it to more people like this, especially if you leave the video public for people to watch. So not only is it a caveat for your landing page to generate emails, so on and so forth, and to give them a better understanding by educating them on what's needed, but it also helps out the algorithm find more people that are like the people that are watching the video and opening the email. So it does a twofer, right? It tells Google Analytics and the Facebook Pixel, these are the people that are signing up because of the lead tag within the Pixel or within the Google Tag Manager that would be, transmitting that data back to, your account, so on and so forth, for retargeting purposes and creating what's known as a lookalike audience. But if you're trying to brand yourself as well, because you embedded that YouTube video, you now have more data collected based upon watch time and everything else. So if you're putting content on YouTube, whether it be short 60-second videos or longer videos for people to consume, when it comes to the avenues of law and how they could stay safe or bend the rules or whatever, or tricks of the trade, well, it'll be able to find those people more effectively, because essentially you'll be paying for not only the leads, but the data that comes along with it that'll benefit your social profile on YouTube, growing your audience exponentially. So if you found any value in this, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Finding Freedom. Peace.